another driving tour with Lori and Keely, and today we're showing you Briargate. If you are thinking of making the move to the area, chances are Briargate might be on your list, and we're going to tell you the pros and cons as Keely navigates us through here. And we're going to show you inside two homes, which sometimes we don't get into Briargate homes, but one of them is mine, and it's going to hit the market this summer, so you're going to want to see it. So let's go. All right, so we're going to give you some street views first. Briargate is District 20. How would you define Briargate? North, not that you guys really know the streets very much anyways, but north of Woodman. And
like when you look at Briargate, there's a handful of like subdivisions. Is that a word? Subdivision?
I think it is.
Like there's Summer whatever, there's
Summer
Charleston
Fields.
Place, there's Windjam, or there's like, so Briargate almost is like a suburb, I guess. If Colorado Springs were to have a suburb, it's kind of a suburb, but Briargate is also like, we have shops at Briargate. That's like a shopping area with probably our best shopping for goods in Colorado Springs. And then you also have like part of the Briargate area is some hospitals.
Would you consider
some
Wolf
grocery
Ranch
stores.
where you live part of Briargate or no?
No. I think that's its own
suburb, Wolf Ranch and Cordera. So it's close, like Wolf Ranch, Cordera, like a mile, maybe two.
And they butt up to each other.
East of us.
And I would say after Powers is Wolf Ranch then. So like
east,
the Target.
What's the north? I would say that like the Interquest is maybe the north
of
like the top of Briargate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you get into like more of the Northgate. And I think the schools
we're crooked.
Yeah, we're always crooked.
Yeah.
We always have. Now we're really crooked. Do you think that's straight?
Oh, maybe turn it back.
Well, it is what it is. I think it's the lighting too. We had changed the lighting. Anyways, so schools, District 20 schools, like I said, I would say the high schools are Rampart High School and Liberty.
And Pine Creek.
Pine Creek for some. Yes, for sure.
For some.
So we're going to have Pine Creek. We always talk about Pine Creek a little bit. If you see our other videos, like to have our driving map, if you want to interact a driving map of all of our videos, it's below. You just click on that link and you'll put in some information. Then you get a map of all of Colorado Springs with all the neighborhoods. So you might see Pine Creek. I always think of Pine Creek as part of Briargate a little bit.
Yeah, especially this part. Like I think when you're on, actually it is part of Briargate. So when you look on a map though, and you're looking at just even, you know, an Apple map, a Google map of Colorado Springs, it'll say Briargate, and it's just kind of out there. So that's why we wanted to explain like kind of what's part of Briargate.
You can get homes in the 500s.
A lot of, but $500,000 houses in Briargate are very different than like $800,000 homes in Briargate. I'm taking you through right now. These are probably more like $700,000-800,000, but they are Briargate homes. And then we're going to drive you through some of the areas where it might be more like 600s. I don't know if we'll get to 500s because that's kind of like maybe.
It just depends on the home and the features, obviously.
What I like about Briargate though, like look around, Lori, we have like mature trees and shrubbery.
And you see that Pikes Peak straight ahead.
I think that once you go to like Wolf Ranch, there's areas of Wolf Ranch that don't have this. There are some areas of Wolf Ranch that have it, but Briargate is like established.
It is established.
It's probably like 20 years.
Yeah, I was going to say homes from the early 2000s, maybe late 90s.
All the way up to like 2005.
Yeah. So if you're thinking of moving here and you want something that has a little more character, but you still want to be like in northern Colorado Springs, District 20. But if you want a new build, you're not going to be in Briargate. Like there's not a new build in Briargate.
No, there's not.
No. And some of these homes, like if you think about homes in the 90s, you're going to have like kind of some yellow oak that you might need to refinish, or I mean, I can walk into a home.
But they're good bones houses.
Yeah, great bones.
They are. But like some of those late 90s, early 2000s, you're going to have to deal with like updating the floor plan somehow. Like if you want to, because usually they had that formal dining, formal sitting, you know, your family room, all of that. And now houses have like one big area of that. But it can be done. And again, these houses have really good bones.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will say I moved into Briargate. My kids all went to Briargate schools.
What was your determining factor?
At that point, wow, I was 10 years younger. And we were moving back from living abroad, and I knew I wanted District 20 schools. I had family that lived up here. I just liked at the time the neighborhoods were nicer, safer.
It was a good investment though, because today you're gonna get ready to list your house, and you're gonna make a really good profit on what you've done, but you have done extensive remodeling.
I know. So I have told Kaylee, and I have been in like total declutter mode. Like, it's like a mission. Like, I kind of dream about it. I'm like, what can I declutter next? I think I have a problem. Like, so you'll see my house.
I wish I had your problem.
You're gonna see my house, and it's definitely, you're gonna say, well, that's definitely not decluttered. But part of it is my husband. He has to go through his items. You'll see they're in a pile. And he has like these bookshelves. It's like the one thing that he loves is like books. And so it's like my one concession. He has to have books. But I have started going through my garage. I've gone through my junk drawers. I've gone through closets. It's my mission to get rid of things that I have not used.
If you're getting ready to list.
Like, even my medicine cabinet. I had like medicines in there that I haven't used in like 45 years.
I actually did that. I was like,
I went to give
this
even
Brooke
expired.
like an allergy pill.
Yeah.
And I think it like expired in like 2014. I was like, don't take that. I was like, why have I not gone through
anything
this?
since 2014? Like, how do I have that? So just like going through some of that stuff has been like, I love that kind of stuff. It kind of like gives me a little high. It makes my husband have anxiety. Every time he sees a bag in my car, he saw a bag in the car.
He's like, what's in there?
Yeah, he was like, why is there balls? Are you getting rid of balls? And I'm like, I'm like,
somebody could use them.
He did. He took him to school to work.
See, Brett, we think alike that
we
way.
do. So, anyways, we had some technical difficulty.
We had to make sure.
What is your car's name again?
It's an Audi RSQ.
No, well, you named it.
Miley.
I
figured out why.
Oh, why?
Because she's on 23s.
I don't know what that means.
23-inch wheels.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that kind of stuff about cars.
They're big.
Hence, I drive Honda Palisade, and all I care about is it starts and it's clean, and that's.
Do you love my new car?
And Kaylee always loves the stuff with like wheels. And
I only like it because my son and my
her son
like
loves
it.
Yes, I would be the worst person at a car show. I'd be like, "Oh, great, your car's white. That's great. I love the color white."
That's what I got my daily call from Eli, and Lori always. She knows that Eli calls me often, and he's like, Mom, what are you doing tonight at 7? I'm like, I don't know. Like, we probably are working. That's what we do every night. And he is like, do you want to go to a car show?
I think it's cute he asked you to go to a car show.
He likes
You should be honored by that. Your junior son asked
you
you to go to a car show.
Well, but that's why
I would
I'm
just
like,
be very terrible at that.
I bought a car to hang out with my son.
Yeah.
So we're driving you through, like, this is, to me, like, a traditional Briargate neighborhood.
Yep.
Like, I would say your house in Charleston Place, it's smaller, like the neighborhood itself, and it feels like almost a sub area, and it is, but it's really in the heart of Briargate. But this is like a traditional Briargate neighborhood, like that you have
Mountain Ridge
right Middle School on the left. You have all these houses that are 90s, 2000s. People love their houses here. There's like little neighborhood parks and more like sidewalk walk trails.
Academy International Schools right here. I will say with Briargate, you are close to you're close to I-25. You can shoot down Union. You're close to your Targets, your Costco's. I mean, everything that I want to go to is right here, which is nice and has been nice.
And like Rampart Park, like you guys
I love
have
Rampart Park.
3 or 4 parks that you could go walk to.
My kids always go to like John Viencia. They'll play pickleball, basketball. There's Fort Frick, and then the Rampart Park. It's great because it is
pretty walking.
Gorgeous. You look overlooking, or Pikes Peak is actually kind of looking down on you.
But it
has wildflowers.
It feels a little like suburbia.
True.
It's not like Wolf Ranch, where Wolf Ranch, every house kind of looks very similar. I would say Briargate has more character, but there is not new houses in Briargate. Briargate also has the big trees and shrubbery. With that being said, there are people that pour their heart and soul and money and everything into their house, and there are people that just have lived there for 20 years.
And you're about to see that. Well, not that I poured my whole heart and soul, but I do love to do like, there's definitely things I could do more in my house, but I do love to do improvements to my house. And then the other house,
you like the projects without the like having to do electrical and plumbing and all that. It's like cosmetic.
Yes. And other house we're going to show you in Briargate. They purchased it in like 1998.
They built it.
They built it. This was new builds. We're in Briargate, and really nice house.
I'm in a road rage.
Oh, wow.
Go. They were sitting there forever. Sorry, guys.
She says road rage.
I'm just like, go.
Do I wear my seatbelt?
Sorry. See, because now we're gonna miss.
No, we're not
Sorry.
missing. We're still.
I totally interrupted this video. I'm so sorry.
With your road rage. So, but they've done like new roof, like they've updated the AC, they've done stuff like that. Some of the windows, like some of those big ticket items, they've taken really good care of their house. But as far as updating it like aesthetically, they really haven't done that per se. Like it just isn't important to them. So you'll see two very different homes.
But it's well maintained.
It's well maintained. We actually listed it and it went like in one day because people wanted the area. And it just was.
It's a well-maintained home with good bones.
Yes.
So the first house we're going to show you is price point.
We'll show mine first.
Okay. So you're going to definitely be in the 7s.
Yes.
And we're going to show you a Briargate home in the 7s, and then a Briargate home that is low 600s. So you can see the difference for almost 100,000. What you get. For those two price points. And I think it is a really good comparison and very much what I would expect.
Yeah, and we just sold a home. Well, it'll close next week. It was in the 4s. And that will close. So it is possible. Yeah. It did go
multiple
one weekend.
Offers.
Multiple offers. Because anytime you have a home in the 4s, sometimes in the 5s, depending upon finishes, you're going to have multiple offers because of the school district and everything else.
Yep.
So you can get in the 4s. It's doable, but you're going to do like 3-bed, 2-bath. Not a huge home.
Like 1,500 square feet.
1,500 square feet. And we have sold some in the 5s.
Those would probably be like
Fairfax.
Very dated.
Yeah, you'd want to.
Like you aren't going to get any updating in the 5s,
you'd
really.
Want to do some cosmetics.
Unless do you think you could get in the 5s if it was like an updated 1,500 square foot?
Yes. If it was updated, yeah, for sure.
But a lot of the homes here in Briargate are like probably 3,000 square feet plus. If you're in the affordable area of D20, you're probably 1,500 square feet, and there's not really a whole lot of room.
And they're not like ranch. So if you're thinking you're gonna get you're like, oh, I like a ranch. They're like those tri-levels, 2 stories, like usually a tri-level for that.
Yep.
Typically.
Yep.
So let's go take a look.
Are here over in Briargate and wanted to show you the house that is a very typical Briargate house. It was built in 2001, was it, Lori?
I think 1998, to be honest.
Oh, was it 98?
Maybe 2001. Maybe it's...
So the other one was a little newer.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
The people that had lived here had maintained this house, and it's a classic Briargate neighborhood home. But this house, it is sold. It is closing out, and was listed in the lower 600s. So I wanted to give you a realistic perspective of what you can get for low 600s here in Briargate. It's a great area. This is Charleston Place.
And this is the one that went in a day.
And it went in one day.
So,
and
we're not going to get no concessions on this one.
We could have probably waited and got multiple offers, but they just wanted a good solid offer.
And they loved the home. It was nice and clean.
But I will say, I know in video this looks dated, but really the floors are in really good shape. They had solid hardwood floors, and they're refinished. You know, the paint color, love it, hate it, whatever. Paint is paint. That's an easy fix. One thing that could cost a little bit of money is if you wanted to update your doors, the hardware on them. The next house you're gonna see, those things like that had already been done. What this house does have though, that it's really hard to see with the visual eye, they've even replaced the windows. And these are nice Pella windows throughout. But you walk through, you have your formal, this would be formal sitting, formal dining, you have lighting that's kind of an easier fix.
Hopefully.
But then you walk through, this is a very common floor plan, I would say. It's a good sized kitchen. You might want to rework the island if I was updating this a little. all of these also had like a little breakfast nook area, which is hence why the lights are right here. So we staged it with a nice little table and whatnot. I would say this living room is average for size of living. The one you're gonna see at almost $100,000 more is quite a bit bigger. But a lot of these, you'll see the big stacked windows. I know some of you really love that and that's what you're looking for. A lot of the houses this age have that. Fireplace, you know, I'm not gonna even say it's dated, it's just very traditional. One thing that they have done is they've updated a lot of they did two of the bathrooms.
So they do two?
Yeah, the powder on the main.
Okay.
And then this one up in the master, but you know, railings, I would say that's a little bit more of a costly change. If you even think about it, like these lights, like look over here, you almost have to hire somebody to do that because it's so tall. But they just never chose to do that. This is kind of amazing though. So you have the newer windows. They actually had a really good view of Pikes Peak.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. It's a little bit closer. It looks kind of more like that, I would say.
And to me, could be part of why this house sold, was because they did spend money.
They did do the bathroom.
In the bathroom. And I know this is not a cheap upgrade, and they did a nice job with very timeless finishes in here.
And then,
so really, if you think about it, if you could paint the trim or just change out your trim, doors, hardware, do some lighting, do some paint. Like the floor plan's pretty good. These are all vaulted ceilings in these rooms upstairs. Even just having that lighter color, you can kind of see the difference. This bathroom has not been updated much,
Where's
but
the
it's
other one? Downstairs?
the powder room.
Oh, the powder. Okay.
Yep. But, you know, this house, I'm not going to take you down there, but it's still on a full basement.
Yeah, not a walkout.
So
So
there's
from the backyard real quick, just so they could see that.
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, full basement. What, one other bedroom down
So
there?
this house, low 600s, we're going to show you an updated one that would be like low to mid 700s, but it's kind of the difference. One thing I like about houses like this, if you have the little bit of cash flow, you can do it to your taste.
True.
You know, you can kind of pick and choose, you know, if you wanted to redo the kitchen, if you wanted to, you know, repaint, what colors. I do think this is a very typical Briargate yard size. In this area, you can have the privacy fencing, but one thing that you won't get in like a Wolf Ranch, the bigger trees, the more mature landscaping, and a lot of times these houses also have character. Other things that this house had that I do think made it a solid house for a good offer, like they had maintained their furnace, they had kept the paint updated on the outside, they had a newer roof. You can tell through the receipts and all of the due diligence docs, anytime there was a problem or something that needed to not necessarily update, but really maintain the home, it was taken care of. So it was a well-loved home, low 600s, Briargate. Now we want to show you one that's been refinished, and it's probably like a mid 700s in the same Briargate area.
All right, so now you get to see another one. So we flipped it on you. We said we're going to show you mine first, but we didn't. We showed you the other one first. So this is my house. It's going to hit the market this summer, probably July-ish, August-ish. We'll see. But I kind of want to show you a little bit different. So it's actually a pretty similar floor plan.
Even from the outside though, Lori, like there's just some updating. I know there's paint, but you've also added gables, some, you know, shake above there.
Yeah.
You've done quite a bit of gardening and landscaping, extra concrete
to the side there.
To the side.
Yeah. Get a little windy. All right, so come on in.
So this will be listing probably mid 700s, probably a little under, right?
Yeah, we'll see if I run comps as we get closer. But so you can see it's very similar when you walk in. So we have the hardwood floors. We've just refinished them. And then actually when we first bought it, there was carpet in these two rooms. We tore that out. And then we just refinished it all together. So you can see this is,
You've done, you know, shiplap walls, the railing, the doors, the hardware, lighting.
The lighting. So this is my like sitting room, living room, it's like library. Like if we
You
were gonna
actually
stay,
use this though too.
well, yeah, we kind of sit there sometimes, but my husband has this library thing. Well, if I was gonna stay, I'd do some like built-ins, but this is like his. So just ignore the bookends because that's definitely not me. So then in here, this is like dining. We did shiplap that wall back there, painted the ceiling. We have some guy coming. We just updated the lighting in here, so he's gonna come patch that ceiling for us. But we have some great, like, I don't know if you can see, but like Pikes Peak is like sitting right outside there. I don't know if they can see that.
Oh yeah, you can see it right out.
So it's that's what I fell in love with this house. It was 10 years ago, and I was like, those views are spectacular. And Kaylee and I see a lot of houses, and we very rarely see homes with like have spectacular views. And this is that's what happened. So cabinets are painted. So that's one thing I would definitely change out, like at least the doors.
But you have
see.
updated like the island, painting it, adding the shiplap and whatnot. Same floor plan kind of as the other, but again, you walk outside and you have this expansive view out your deck.
I'll show you, and I'll also show you the brick oven pizza I built at the very end.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, Kaylee wants to have an open house and frying up pizzas.
Yeah, your Ohio State pizza party.
Yeah, so we just changed these out. It was like one light, it was off center on the table. It drove me nuts. So I'm like, I would like to put a couple pendant lightings there. So we just changed that out. And then in here, we have like, it bumps out more. So it's just a little bit of a longer living room.
It is bigger.
And then I had the drapes that go to the ceiling, and it like allows my whole family. Like we'll have like 12 people.
You had
over
to
here.
hire somebody to install those fans.
Yeah, we replaced those fans.
The accent walls.
We did an accent wall here. Then this is like that half bath. I don't even know if we showed it to you in the last house, but we did the vanity, and then we kind of updated the laundry. So it has tile, that backsplash, open shelving, just a little more updated. So
it does make a difference.
I can pretend I want to do laundry. So, and then the doors, like this is updated, and then all the rest of the doors in the house, we did that a couple years ago. Replaced the hollow oak doors.
Well, and this is literally, I'm glad we get to see that house, and then this house, like you've even done carpeting.
Carpeting's been done.
The paint.
Yep.
The lighting. It's just a different feel.
And this is my daughter's room. So we did the batten board in here.
You have the vaults upstairs too.
Yep. And then she has shiplap, and then she has the.
You did doors up here too. It looks
like. All the doors for the whole house are updated. And then these bathrooms we didn't really do any updating. We just updated the flooring. But see how like when you put that shower curtain to the top, it just makes it so much different.
It makes a huge difference.
I know, I like that. And this is my son's room as well. Well, he left to college.
He keeps it this clean.
No,
right?
he went to college, and so I make it look cute now.
This is really cute.
I'm still sad about it.
It does make a difference.
He's coming home, so yeah. So we did that. So that's, and then master, same thing here. You can see it's very similar to the last one. We updated the doors.
But for $100,000 difference, you probably invested almost that.
Oh yeah.
But this has the view, and it's move-in ready.
Yep.
You know, for somebody that doesn't have a vision, they don't want to do the work, they just need it done.
All of our trim's been updated with the guys coming tomorrow to finish off a few spots.
You had to have cash flow to be able to do these updates. Yeah, you had redone your entire bathroom as well.
And then you have views of Pikes Peak while you shower. You can actually see Garden of the Gods too.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to see that from the video.
Oh, you could see a little bit of a red.
Yeah, in the morning it's pretty cool when the sun hits it. From there, this is something so I do have a little walk-in closet. Don't look at how many clothes I have. But then,
oh, that's cute.
Those were so dusty. I actually dusted those shelves today. I don't think I've ever dusted them, and I was like, it was pretty bad. And then I'll show you the basement.
So this one we have to go to the basement because you have to show us the backyard.
Yes. And you have
so
to see
this is
the
a
views.
Walkout basement.
Yeah.
Which is going to be more value on an appraisal as well.
I would say if you're doing a new build, just to add a walkout, like from what we did, is like $40,000 at least, just to even add the option to it.
So then you have this brick wall. You have
this
all
is
the
kind of my storage area right here. So this is my husband has to go through. We did. That's where, if you watch our very first video, this is where we did it. against that wall. It's kind of funny to think about.
They're Ohio State fans,
I know.
hence the, oh, it's cute though.
Yeah, so you have a brick wall when you came down.
You could put like a family picture.
I know, I did it a long time ago, and I'm like, hopefully someone will have a last name like Olsen or.
Some people are gonna love it, but to me, even if I didn't know what it was, I could put like a wreath in there or something.
Colorado or something, put the O in it, I don't know. But yeah, all the doors are updated here. Again, same thing with the bathroom. Vanity's painted, but we kept it the same, just updated the flooring. In this room, we actually are only a 4-bedroom home.
Oh, but this
is a huge room.
Huge room down
It's a large
here.
walk-in closet here.
And you're like, walk out, like this is a difference instead of seeing out to a window well.
Yeah,
you see out to the yard,
to the
which
yard.
you've
It's
also
not underground.
done extensive stuff outside as
and
well.
then this is why I fell in love with this house 10 years ago.
The view and the yard?
Well, yeah, because the yard's not huge, but it's really hard to maintain a yard, but it is pretty private. We did have a tree that died there about 3 months ago, and I'm really sad about it, so we probably will put something there again. It just gave us a lot more privacy to the side.
This was your COVID project.
This was my COVID project. I built this. And
it
so
is so cool.
It's a brick oven pizza, so we have this. It's like, if this is
you're going to miss this.
I know, it has a lot of memories.
Look at even this. This is the Ohio.
Yeah, it has Ohio. Like this thing, if there ever is like a nuclear fallout, I'm going to go in here. It's like cement, like cinder block.
It was a process.
Yeah.
And you had to do the extended patio
so we did the extended patio for it. And then, yeah, so it's the brick oven pizza. We use, we have the hot tub.
But you have lilac bushes right there. It's super secluded and private.
We have raspberries and blackberries. And then I do like strawberries. And that's my whole garden area that I try to garden.
You do a good job with your garden. And then
I try.
You still have the upstairs.
Yeah, that's the part. So you can see Pikes Peak from down here, but this is where oh, and then it's my 2 dogs.
You have a shed over there.
I do have a small shed. Look at my garlic's kind of coming up. I planted that last year. These are my dogs.
There's your doggies.
They're kind of lazy. They just like
sunbathing.
Oh, wow. But this is what I love because we can sit out here. We have all of our grills. We barbecue. The pizza oven's down there. It's just like that Colorado outdoor entertaining living area.
You do have quite the view all the way from
You can see like the Sandy Crystal Mountains down there. And then all the way over here. So
and it's a huge deck.
And it always looks closer than it does in person than it does in video. It's one thing that Kaylee and I have learned from doing video. So that's why. So if you want a house for $750,000 in Briargate, reach out to us. But this is just a good overview of Briargate. I hope it gives you a good feel of a couple different price points. What you get. They're not new builds, but you can kind of make them your own as you go. But great area. So put those numbers into your phone and reach out.